and men unite with women who are confused is called jeehun, getting married. 604. Of all the orders established by human beings, marriage and family is the worst. It is only beneficial to those who dominate others. Other than that, there are no other benefits. 605. Secular family members push us toward hell and hinder our ascension toward heaven. Jesus Christ said that a man's foes would be the members of his own household. 606. Traditional marriages and families have caused a great deal of harm. Relationships between married couples are the most difficult to maintain and the most unfortunate, upsetting, restricting, and emotionally destructive, which has been proven by countless examples everywhere across many millennia. Therefore, to see through it and emancipation self from traditional marriages and families as soon as possible is to swim out of an abyss of misery and reach a shore of freedom. 607. The traditional family life program is where the suffering of individuals and mankind exists. Marriages and families create boundless seas of bitterness. 608. Families are prisons for our soul-sand shackles that weigh us down. They are also the root causes leading people towards narrowness, selfishness, and greed. Families are barriers that fetter people from liberating their nature and their freedom and are the greatest obstacle to their realization of beautiful lives. Family, love it and do not leave it, then no matter how well you engage in self-cultivation, how advanced the method is or how thorough your cultivation is, you can never reach heaven. 612. Boundless is the sea of bitterness. Repent and you will see the shore. What is the sea of bitterness? Marriages and families are. Marriages and families are the root causes of all agonies and afflictions. People's vexations, depressions, anxieties, and misgivings all stem from them. Boundless is the sea of bitterness. Repent and you will see the shore. Where is the shore? The shore is the second home, now renamed as New Oasis for Life Community, created by Life Genuine. Devoid of marriages and families, it offers the most ideal lifestyle and is the only hope for humanity to end its suffering and afflictions. 613. We should address problems from their root causes. The root cause of suffering and affliction is the existence of families. They are like garbage. If not cleaned up, flies cannot be kept away. Without the disappearance of families, people's misery and afflictions will never end. To occupy yourself with relieving people's endless misery and suffering at the surface level, rather than by addressing their root causes, is dealing with them ineffectively. It is like trying to stop water from boiling by scooping it up without turning the flame off, or like cutting branches off brambles instead of digging up their roots. Wherever families exist, so will endless misery and suffering. If we do not deal with the root cause, then the misery and suffering will remain and never end. Buddha, Jesus Christ, and Bodhisattva Guanyin could not help even if they were still in the mortal world. Were family esto exist in heaven, even heaven would become an abyss of misery. 614. Marriages and families are devil's cradles. Even angels become devils when they marry. All are pernito commit crimes once they do so. 615. Families are not the cells of society. Rather, individuals are. The essence of a society is its people, not relations of production. Families are only relations of production and can only be called cells of certain social formations and relations of production, rather than the cells of a society. The most beautiful societies have no families. 616. Difficulties and hardships never crush people, but the invisible pressures and destructive nature of marital and family bonds make them lose confidence in life and feel that their life is meaningless, even to the point of collapsing. 617. Marriages and families are hotbeds of and the soil that generates selfishness and the sources of trouble and misery. They are the root causes of crime. 618. The human world is only mortal because of the marital bonds which symbolize that couples possess each other, occupy each other, depend on each other, tie each other down, and form shields against the outside world. No one who is wrapped in a marital bond can be unselfish enough to reach the realm of heaven. 619. The most complex and troubling relationships in the world are marital bonds. Not only they are the saddest and most disappointing ones, but also the most desired and desperate. When involved in them, one must avoid being too tough or too soft, too close or too far, too strong or too weak. These are relationships that cannot be attached to or escaped from. They are tangled like silk, untouchable like flames or ice, and are messes that cannot be described easily. 620. Marriages are tumsoft. Love and families are sources of humanity's sins. Being involved in marriages, people lose their freedom. Having families, they become selfish. Marriages and families have generated boundless misery and are the abysses of misery itself. 621. Ending nuclear families and establishing Siefeng-style communistic Biag families, the inevitable process for new era humans. 622. Escaping from nuclear families, not escaping from relatives. It is escaping from the traditional life program and entering a new one. It is definitely neither abandoning one's duties and obligations nor disregarding one's relatives. 623. Traditional families are ingrained. Family consciousnesses have infiltrated into everyone's blood, cells, and even their souls. Traditional families are like huge icebergs which have grown for thousands of years, so they will not disappear today or tomorrow, but mankind has reached the crossroads of the times. When enough people realize the disadvantages of traditional families and take part in the work of actively melting these icebergs, then mankind will have hope and the greatest creator will show appreciation by offering us a way out. Vicious cycles can change or even reverse their directions and people can be led into a happy era. However, if too many people choose to maintain their traditional families instead of joining to melt these icebergs, then they will suffer the punishments of natural law. 624. Throughout history, family tragedies have emerged continually. From remote countrysides to prosperous cities, from the illiterate to Nobel Prize winners, from the general public to celebrities of official, commercial, and cultural circles, the tragedies resulting from families are repeated everywhere. Facts speak louder than words. Family life patterns should be contemplated, discussed, and transformed. 625. After breaking up marriages and families, is any life pattern better than the traditional one? Yes. Since 2009, Lifeek Yuan has put into practice an alternative mode of production and living. That is, the second home, now renamed the New Oasis for Life Community. 180 people, early and late, and young and old, have participated in our practice for up to 8 years, and our practice has proven that the life pattern of the New Oasis for Life Community is superior to the traditional one. For more details, please refer to our English language website, http://www.newoasisforlife.org. Our Chinese language website, http://www.lifelvzhou.org. 626. The second home, New Oasis for Life Community, is a new mode of life created by Lifeek Yuan which has proven itself to be successful in practice. 627. The general principles of the second home, New Oasis for Life Community, are: unify all dharma, laws, and regulations into the greatest creator's will. Unify all religions, beliefs, schools of thought into one belief system. Unify the whole world with 800 values for new era humans. Lead mankind into the Lifeek Yuan era, which is characterized by the absence of states, religions, political parties, marriages, families, and spousal relationships, and in which the following will happen. Worthy people will fully utilize their talents. The whole world will be as one family. No one will keep lost articles found on the roadside and doors will not need to be locked at night. Everything will be in complete harmony. The weather will be good for harvesting and everyone will be happy, joyous, free, and blessed. 628. The second home, New Oasis for Life Community, has 8 characteristics. 1. Taking the way of the greatest creator and implementing holographic management. 2. Possessing nothing yet own everything. 3. Everyone working to the best of their abilities, asking for and taking only what they need. 4. Having no marriages or nuclear families. 5. The young being well educated and the old being looked after properly. 6. Politics and religion are not practiced. 7. All members engaging in physical labor regardless their backgrounds. 8. Being flexible, acting tactfully, and bending according to the situation. 629. The second home, New Oasis for Life Community, consists of people who are unwilling to marry and establish families, have divorced but chose not to remarry and set up another family, and couples who are both Chanyuan celestials. This new life pattern copies the lifestyle of celestial beings in the thousand-year world. The Maken Tentoff this new life pattern includes 1. Non-ownership. Everyone possesses nothing yet owns everything. 2. No marriages, no families, and no distinction between close and distant relationships. Relationships between everyone are as those between sisters, brothers, relatives, or lovers. 3. Everyone works to the best of their abilities and takes what they need but never wastes or indulges in luxuries or extravagances. 4. The New Oasis for Life Community is responsible collectively for everyone's food, clothing, shelter, transportation, birth, aging, illness, and death, for rearing and educating the children, and for nursing and supporting the elderly. 5. Everyone chooses jobs according to their skills and interests and does their best to ensure the highest quality performance in the work they do. There is no place for lazybones or parasites in the New Oasis for Life Community. 6. Everyone's bedroom is their sacred and private space which is free from disturbance and interference. No one is allowed to intrude into these spaces under any pretense with any excuse. All other spaces are public. 7. Let everyone enjoy happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives. 8. Individuality shall blend with commonality. Commonality shall accommodate individuality. There shall be a uniform will which does not conflict with the happiness of anyone, and everyone must be able to exhibit their special talents. It is both an integrated group and a paradise consisting of mutually independent individuals. 9. Holographic management will be implemented. Namely, that non-management is the best management. There are no bosses or offices. Everything is carried out voluntarily by community members following the 800 values for new era humans. 630. The second home, New Oasis for Life Community, bombards traditional marriages and families, a program of life which is infected with viruses. Such viruses will encroach upon the sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty of humanitarian and gradually drag the originally happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives into abysses of suffering, anxiety, enslavement, and desperation. To disband them and replace them with a new style of life is the most important matter that concerns everyone's happiness. Leaving traditional families for life, Chanuan's New Oasis for Life Community seems on the surface like leaving one small family and simply entering a bigger one, but the Contentoff life is actually totally different. Not only is the New Oasis for Life Community capable of what traditional familias are, but also of much more. 631. The second home, New Oasis for Life Community, is the #1 home in the world, a happy and auspicious place that is blessed by the grace of the greatest Creator, a pleasant and jubilant place that is cared for by Jesus Christ and Buddha Sakyamuni, and a free and beautiful place in which the dreams of the sages and saints from past generations are realized. This is the first home born for the grand cosmic adjustment of life. It serves for the purification of Earth and lays foundations for the new life of humanity after 2013. It is hoped that virtuous people will find the gate to the number one home and join us as members ASAP. This is the most important thing in one's life. The time has come to redefine traditional relationships which are based on kinships. All those who follow the way of the greatest Creator and whose souls resonate with ours are our relatives. 632. In order to realize the ideals of sages and saints as well as the wishes of the broad masses and to set a good example for mankind, Life Ekinyuan has initiated an unprecedented model of a new lifestyle for humanity's future. The second home, New Oasis for Life Community. This is no longer idle theorizing, but a reality of life. The New Oasis for Life Community is a copy of the thousand-year world, but in the human world. It is the base of self-cultivation and self-improvement for Chanyuan Celestials to thoroughly remold themselves to achieve super-celestial beings and the transfer station from the human world to heaven. The New Oasis for Life Community is exploring a new pattern of life for humanity. We believe firmly that when everyone lives according to the life pattern of the New Oasis for Life Community, their tribulations will be alleviated. Their suffering will be eased. Nature's deterioration will be reversed, and we will enter the life of Chanyuan era that is to last a millennium. The New Oasis for Life Community has solved problems that have been with us for thousands of years, such as support for the elderly. By continuous consolidation and improvement, the New Oasis for Life Community will become a paradise, not only for children, young people, and middle-aged people, but particularly for the elderly. 633. All members of the New Oasis for Life community have chances to move to a different branch every 3 years. That is, after working and living in one branch for 3 years, they can be relocated to another one and move among all the branches in the world. 634. Any member living and working in the New Oasis for Life community who is found to have caused intentional physical, psychological, or spiritual harm to any other member will be expelled from the community immediately. 635. Laziness is the archetype of the New Oasis for Life community. Diligence symbolizes beauty, while laziness creates ugliness. Diligence leads to bright futures, while laziness ruins the happiness endowed to us by the greatest Creator. Laziness destroys everything. It makes people sink into depravity. Corrupt sand erodes people's wills, spirits, souls, and bodies, and causes the collapse of diligent collectives. It destroys the spiritual health of communities as viruses and eventually casts listless and spiritless spells over everyone and everything. What comes out of it is depression, ruination, and destruction. 636. Laborers have the greatest souls, although they may not be able to write articles exhibiting great talents and insights, or they may not be eloquent or clever enough to exhibit their intelligence. Laborers may look very ordinary and may not be able to explain Dharma and Tao, or recite and quotefersan sentences from the classics. They still have the greatest souls, and their behaviors prove that they have abided by the teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Lao Tzu, and sages and saints. 637. Birthdays are not celebrated in the second home, New Oasis for Life community. 638. Only festivals which glorify nature are celebrated in the second home, New Oasis for Life community. 639. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, implements a holographic management pattern, non-management. Everyone is both a master and a servant. One is different from another only in the type of work they do. There are no hierarchical relationships such as between leaders and subordinates. No one is allowed to impose their will on others, and everyone does their best to bring their qualities of sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty into full play. Everyone says what is on their minds, does their own work, takes charge of their own responsibilities, builds their own paths, and goes their own ways without minding anyone else's business. They are responsible to themselves and the greatest creator, but to no one else. They will not offer help unless it is asked, but will give it immediately when it is. Anyone who offers any suggestion will be responsible for its execution. Everyone builds a sacred court in their own conscience, from which to pass judgment upon themselves. 640. The most significant characteristic of the second home, New Oasis for Life community, which distinguishes it from secular society and other communities, is that there are no marriages or families and no individuals upon one to depend with regard to one's love and sex life. We take things as they are, associate with others by following naturally come-and-go relations, act in accordance with our natures, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise. 641. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, is not a shelter. Those who intend to escape debts, obligations, entanglements, or punishments cannot join us. 642. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, is not a charity. 643. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, is a paradise which consists of the most civilized, diligent, kind-hearted, and selfless people. 644. Principle of the romantic and sexual love in the second home, New Oasis for Life community. Romantic love is a precious gift bestowed upon us by the greatest creator. Sexual love is the inevitable path to sublimating humanity and leaving for the high-level space of life. Romantic and sexual love are two souls dancing to the same beat. As long as both parties are attracted to each other, they can do whatever they feel is appropriate. Nobody supervises, interferes, bothers, gossips, or backsides. Lovers never possess, occupy, or are jealous of each other. Freedom is above all else, and lovers respect the other party's freedoms fully without even the slightest reluctance or causing any mental, spiritual, or physical harm to each other. 645. The 8 advantages of living in the second home, New Oasis for Life community, are 1. Life is guaranteed. There is no longer any need to worry about basic necessities of life such as food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. You will be cared for when you are sick, and your affairs will be dealt with after you pass away. 2. You will live for your values and faith, escape from the secular world, and no longer be entangled in worldly affairs. 3. Without the fetter of families, you will achieve more physical, mental, and spiritual freedom. Nobody will watch you, bother you, or tangle with you. You will no longer trouble with, worry for, or feel anxious about your children's issues. 4. Regardless of how you might change, you will always be able to find someone whose personality and temper fit yours, and with whom to work, chat, and enjoy life. 5. Our division of labor is clear-cut, and each person is in charge of specific responsibility. You will have a great amount of free time in which to do what you want and read what you like. 6. There are endless activities and entertainment to keep you from ever feeling bored or lonely. 7. Our collective energy will always support you to achieve Tao quickly, liberate yourself from the samsara of reincarnations, and then leave for heaven. 8. Our collective energy will help you to overcome all hardships. 646. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, defines no rules or regulations and no leadership roles in the traditional sense. One is different from another only in the division of labor. There are no top-down relationships between leaders and the governed. Everyone is the owner of the community, and everyone needs to carry out their responsibilities and obligations. All affairs should be handled flexibly in accordance with the principle of keep the main but change the others. According to the situation, Dharma sets no rules. It is ever-changing. Anyone can do whatever they want as long as they are consistent with Buddha nature, which consists of sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty. 647. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, does not practice democracy, but rather Superman philosophy, which means that all affairs are assigned to individuals, each person has the final say over their own work, and anyone who accepts a job has the final say over how it gets done but is also responsible for any and all consequences. 648. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, is not an organization in any form, neither a political one nor a religious one. It is a loosely unified utopian group which consists of people who think alike and who are willing to live and work together according to the 800 values for the new era humans. It has no organizational forms, neither does it have any power to legislate beyond the charter, convention, constitution, or laws, nor does it have any power to represent any organization at any level of government to deal with contradictions, conflicts, violations of laws, or discipline. 649. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, is not a licentious place. Rather, it is a highly civilized one in which people interact with each other, with society, and with nature in very harmonious ways. 650. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, opposes the following: psychic activities, chanting mantras, fortune-telling, the use of supernatural powers, magical arts, witchcraft, extrasensory perception, psychokinetic power, members praying collectively and simultaneously in support of the interest of individuals, holding unified Qigong practice or meditational activities directed toward any individual. 651. Political and religious ceremonies are not allowed in the second home, New Oasis for Life community. 652. The following practices are not allowed in the second home, New Oasis for Life community: building temples and churches, hanging any portraits of gods, Buddhas, celestials, or saints, engaging in any form of personality cult activities, engaging in any furtive or superstitious activities. 653. The processes for entering the second home, New Oasis for Life community, are: learn and understand the 800 values for new era humans, communicate with other members on Lifechanuan's intranet for at least 6 months, submit an application if you are satisfied. If nothing bonds you to secular society, then you can enter and live in the New Oasis for Life community. 654. Small workshop production modes will inevitably be eliminated and replaced with the streamlined production mode. Small workshop style families will inevitably be eliminated and replaced with the streamlined style. The second home, New Oasis for Life community, lifestyle. Whether you approve or not, it is a historical imperative that the traditional family lifestyle will be replaced by the New Oasis for Life mode of life. The traditional small family system will be seen as an ignorant and backward lifestyle to be swept into the garbage bin of history. 655. Collective life is superior to individual life and is the best lifestyle for self-improvement and self-refinement. If you cannot blend into a collective lifestyle and go through edification and smelting with collective lives, then you will never be able to enter heaven. 656. To scale the highest realms of life and life, we should resolvito blend ourselves into collective life, because without doing this, our dreams and ideals cannot be realized. Mankind has not yet experienced a true collective life. A group of people simply living and working together cannot be counted as a real collective life unless all their members' basic necessities of life such as food, clothing, shelter, transportation, birth, aging, illness, and death are included as public rights. There is neither private property, private ownership, nor marriages and families. The members live together and share all their blessings and woes. Any differences between members in terms of status or material enjoyment would signify a departure from the tenet of collective life. 657. A perfect and ideal group is made up of excellent individuals. Without excellent members, Any so-called ideal group would only be a castle in the air and impossibilito achieve. 658. Consciousness determines existence. The state of consciousness will determine the form of life, and that will determinion's way of life and living conditions. 659. The combined wisdom of 100 Kablerskin never match that of a master strategist. The thinking of the multitudes can never equal the foresight and sagacity of a saint. Democracy will always be the pursuit of mediocrity, the magical weapon by which to cling to bygone values, and the hidden weapon with which to strangle saints. 660. Consciousnesses sense territories. They like familiar places but feel uncomfortable in strange ones, so they usually reincarnate into familiar environments. Therefore, if you yearn for a place, you must first develop a conscious familiarity with it. 661. Consciousnesses originate from structures and they react upon structures. Energy is neutral. It comes and goes with change-soft structures. Consciousnesses come from non-material structures. Different non-material structures give birth to different consciousnesses. 662. The ultimate goal of life is not to move toward death, but toward another realm, just as the ultimate goal of a fetus is not to grow in the womb, but to enter the human world. Human society is like a big womb. One must transit through the passageway which appears as death in order to advance to their next realm. Therefore, death is not the end. It is the beginning of another journey of life. 663. Don't learn to mana skills. Specializing in one is enough. Even without much expertise or talent, one can lead an easy life, even if they own only a virtue such as honesty, diligence, kindness, sincerity, simplicity, or keeping the faith. Life is very short, so it is unnecessary to exhaust ourselves staying busy. 664. Consider water. It takes the form of any container that holds it. It can be round or square. We also possess this property. Soldiers who are trained by different generals will have different fighting abilities, and different environments will foster different kinds of people. If you live on a mountain, then you will learn the tweeting of birds. If you live beside water, then you will learn about fish. If you work with ink, then you will stain yourself black. If you often associate with saints, then you will develop agile thinking, sudden enlightenment, and transcendency over vulgarity. If you often mingle with laities, then you will have prejudicial and narrow thinking, and prefer contention and vulgar taste. 665. Havian idea befrio construct a method. When your thoughts change, everything changes accordingly. First havia concept, then carry it out. 666. Holographic thinking is the highest realm of thinking. It is the thinking of the greatest creator and can also be called the thinking of gods, which is unimaginably to ordinary people. Buddha Sakyamuni attained formless thinking, Lao Tzu achieved Taiji thinking, Celestial Sakhi visualized thinking, Zhuge Liang, Einstein, and the like achieved associative thinking. Artists such as Beethoven reached imaginal thinking. Common people's thinking is material thinking and religionists' thinking is elusive thinking. 667. The most significant feature of elusive thinking is that every small step seems to progress forward, but it eventually returns to its original starting points. That all sentences from each theory are correct and irrefutable, but that they return to where they began after traversing big circles. 668. Long-standing habits induce mindsets which are very difficult to discard after they form. Everyone's intellects are covered by invisible meshes of thinking, and everyone is weighed down by heavy crosses, though they cannot feel them. Even after having felt them, they lack the courage and power to break away from them. Seeing people around them living in this manner sets them at ease and justifies their own behaviors. They become accustomed to their situations, numb and tolerant of them. They never think to ask, why are things this way? Or is there another, better way? 669. It is impossible to escape from fate without unconventional thinking. We should work on things that the world ignore and not follow the crowd, because 98% of people live according to planned programs. The trajectory of their lives and live shave been programmed from screenplays. To avoid the confines of heaven and earth, escape from the bondage of 3 realms and 5 elements, and leave the realm of necessity for that of freedom, we must not resonate with the thinking and mindsets of the multitudes. Rather, we should act in the opposite way. Note: in Buddhism, the 3 realms refer to the following destinations for karmic rebirth. Kamaloka is the world of desire, typified by base desires, populated by hellish beings, preta, hungry ghosts, animals, humans, and lower demigods. Rupaloka is the world of form, predominantly free of baser desires, populated by dhyana-dwelling gods, and a possible rebirth destination for those well-practiced in dhyana. Arupaloka is the world of formlessness, a non-corporeal realm populated with 4 heavens, and a possible rebirth destination for practitioners of the 4 formlessness stages. 5 elements, Wuxing, is a 5-fold conceptual scheme that many traditional Chinese fields use to explain a wide array of phenomena. The 5 elements are fire, Huohua, water, Soishui, wood, Mu, metal or gold, Jingjin, and earth or soil, Tu. In the order of mutual generation, Shangsung Xiangxing, they are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. In the order of mutual overcoming, Shangker Xiangke, they are wood, earth, water, fire, and meta. 670. What is thought to be impossible with conventional thinking can be solved easily with unconventional thinking. Topology is one akin of unconventional thinking. It can shift positions off space and interconnect closed spaces both internally and externally, and makes it impossible to distinguish between interiors and exteriors, just as with Mobius strips, where it is impossible to determine the obverse from the reverse. Therefore, when you face psychological obstacles, spiritual depression, and difficult situations in life, never consider that your situations are hopeless, because unconventional thinking can guide you to find hope right under your nose. 671. Unconventional thinking is the magical weapon for us to explore the profound mysteries of the universe and discover their truths. It is the best way for us to find the true meaning of life. As long as we proceed forward steadily, we will eventually enter into a vast world, at which time we will be amazed at the nature of the universe and the profound mysteries of life. We will be thrilled that a beautiful future life as a celestial being awaits us. We will love life and mankind more deeply, and we will cherish this life even more. 672. As we know from the mystery of the 3 elements of the universe, consciousness, structure, and energy, our beautiful futures are mainly created not by our hands, but by our brains, that is, by our consciousnesses. 673. You are the only one who can end your worldly ties. The best way to do this is to offer formless almsgiving. 674. The most brilliant swordsman lacks a sword. The most supreme mind Dharma lacks a mind. The most profound Buddha Dharma lacks Dharma. The greatest self lacks self. 675. Buddha is our deepest intrinsic nature, and this nature is Buddha. 676. Weshold cultivate aperiend clean minds which do not abide in form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharma, but actually abide nowhere. We should have no notions of ourself, others, lifetime, living beings, or of dharma or non-dharma. Form is emptiness and absolute emptiness is form. 677. The merits and virtues of formless alms-giving outweigh those of 7 treasure alms-giving, which are as countless as the grains of sand in the Ganges. The returns on them are inconceivable. One should give without a mind abiding in form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharma. Bodhisattvas held give alms without a mind abiding in notions of form. Everything with form is unreal. All those who are called Buddha have detached all forms. Bodhisattvas held have no longing or attachment when they practice meritorious virtues. 678. Those who suggest that Buddha Sakyamuni preached Dharma are either slandering him or do not understand either the essence of his teachings or the gist of Dharma. All Dharma is the way of Buddha. The real way of Buddha is free from self, others, living beings, lifetime, and dharma. 679. All intentional dharma are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, shadows, dew, and lightning. Thus should you meditate upon them. No unintentional dharma can be expressed clearly. They come like lightning and vanish as illusions. There is neither entity, nonentity, sound, breath, edge or border, fixed rules, nor fixed modes. They are invisible, intangible, tremendously powerful, can neither be hidden or stolen, and are forever changing. They are not everything, yet everything is them. Conform to them and you will enjoy a smooth and peaceful life for tens of thousands of years. Go against them and your future will suffer frustration and disasters. 680. Buddha Sakyamuni is not the ancestor of Buddha, only the greatest creatorus. 681. The Tathagata's words are truth and correspond to reality. They are ultimate words, neither deceitful nor heterodox. The Dharma that the Tathagata has obtained is neither real nor unreal. The Tathagata has physical eyes, Deva eyes, wisdom eyes, Dharma eyes, and Buddha eyes. The Tathagata has neither whence to come, nor whither to go. Thus, he is called the Tathagata. 682. Everything with form is unreal. If all forms are seen as unreal, then Tathagata, the state of Buddha, will be perceived. 683. All Sansan sages differ because of their unintentional dharma. 684. All ways are dharma and yet all ways are not dharma. Dharma has no set rules. Dharma always varies according to the situation. So-called dharma is not dharma. 685. Do not have such thoughts as, I should liberate all living beings. 686. Those who see me by outward appearance and seek me in sound are treading the heterodox path and cannot perceive Tathagata. 687. Buddha has no mind. Buddha is our most intrinsic nature. With an enlightened consciousness, nature is perceived, which is the perception of Buddha. 688. Without a perception of nature, one will always be bewildered and seek Dharma externally but never find Buddha. Without it, even those who can explain the creed of the 12 classics only say demonic words. Without it, it is impossible to obtain the way of Buddha. Without it, even praying for Buddha, reciting sutra, chanting mantras, giving alms, keeping precepts, making vigorous efforts, building or repairing temples, making offerings, freeing captive animals, kowtowing, and burning incense, one still cannot attain Buddhahood. 689. When Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara attained Prajnaparamita, the enlightened wisdom that can reach the shores of freedom, he realized that all forms, feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and cognitions are only illusions. With this realization, he had moved beyond all trials and suffering. 690. Form does not differ from emptiness, nor does emptiness differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. So too are feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and cognitions. 691. All dharma is empty of characteristics. Its true nature is no birth nor death, no defilement nor purity, no increasing nor decreasing. 692. Therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feelings, thoughts, behaviors, cognition. No eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. No color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no dharma. No realm of eyes and so forth until no realm of mind consciousness. There is no ignorance and also no extinction of it, and so forth until no old age and death and also no extinction of them. There is no suffering and no origination of suffering. No extinction of suffering and no path of cultivation that leads to no suffering. Therefore there is no wisdom of enlightenment, and no attainment of such wisdom either. 693. Through reliance on Prajnaparamita, the wisdom that can bring us to the shores of freedom, the Bodhisattva is unimpeded in his mind and there is no hang-up in his heart. Since there is no impediment and hang-up, He is not afraid and he leaves distorted dream thinking far behind. Ultimately, nirvana. 694. Relying on prajna paramitha. The wisdom that can bring us to the shores of freedom will help us to attain Anattara Samyak Sambodhi, supreme authentic wisdom. 695. Gata gate purgitepare samgate body svaha. Go, go, go. Go to the other shore with transcendent wisdom. Go to the realm of freedom. Go to attain enlightenment. Just go. 696. Life is a journey of LAFI the human world. What is heard and seen during the journey is an illusion. Indulging in the illusion is like living in an abyss of misery, while not getting lost in the illusion takes you to heaven. 697. Dreams are illusions, but we rarely indulge them. Life is an illusion, so why do we indulge it unconsciously? When we wake up, our dreams disappear. When life ends, our illusion will disappear. 698. Nature has been polluted. Who has polluted it, and who are its worst polluters? Are those who earn the most polluting nature the most? Who has polluted nature more seriously, the poor or the wealthy? Are those who possess the most wealth harming nature the most? The more we take from nature, the more we accumulate a debt which we must pay back. Those who are in debt must pay their debts. No one else can pay debts for them, nor should they be allowed to. 699. Across thousands of years of this civilization, who have been the most unselfish people? They are Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Lao Tzu, and Mother Teresa. Therefore, it is right to follow their teachings. 700. Being happy is the most important thing in life. To enjoy onati of happiness is to be a celestial for onati. What can lead to happiness? Being philosophical and enlightened. 701. To unify all dharma, laws, and regulations into the greatest creator's will and all religions, beliefs, schools of thought into one uniform belief system, the world will be one family. A stateless world will be in great harmony. These are the main themes of the new era. 702. Families, states, political parties, and religions are the root causes of the following: pollution of the Earth's environment, a global polarization of the rich and the poor, unfair and irrational allocation of resources, a turbulent world with severe crises, the hardships of working and lower class, a huge waste of human and material resources. 703. The world should move toward unification and become a global community. It is best to strengthen the role and function of the United Nations continuously for it to eventually become the global government. 704. Everyone in the world should regard themselves as citizens of Earth, not merely those of regions or countries. 705. The Earth belongs to all its citizens. Everyone has the right to migrate and move freely throughout it. 706. When all is unified into the One, everything can benefit from the power of the One. A sky, by attaining the oneness, became clear. Earth, by attaining the oneness, became peaceful. A spirit, by attaining the oneness, became divine. True nature is like an empty valley, and by attaining the oneness, it became fully productive. All things, by attaining the oneness, became alive. Saints, by attaining the oneness, can bring peace and prosperity to the world. The whole of mankind can have only one government, one belief system, and one order. We can only have one goal, one wish, one path to build, and one road to follow all through our lives, because otherwise it will be impossible to achieve clearness, peace, divinity, and fullness. Excess breeds confusion and heterogeneity causes miscellaneous. Only when all dharma, laws, and regulations are unified into the greatest creator's will and all religions, beliefs, schools of thought are unified into one uniform belief system, and the whole world becomes one family, people can hold the oneness. With the oneness, everyone will enjoy harmony, peace, auspiciousness, favorable weather, and happy, joyful, free, and blessed lives. 707. Single people should be Chosina's leaders in all regions. Single people are more selfless and open-minded, and they are less tied and troubled than those who have their own families. Basically, single leaders are better than those who are in familial relationships because they are more in line with the interests of the general public. 708. Localismand nationalism are symbols of barbarism and fatuity. No affairs on earth belong to any particular nation or local adherents. Rather, they belong to the whole of humanity. The administrations of every region should be exercised, not by the people chosen from among the locals or from among local nations, but by the most outstanding talents selected from the whole of humanity. It will only be when all the talented are not ignored, but rather are entrusted with important missions, that the whole world will be united as one family and the toiling multitudes will obtain freedom and happiness. 709. Affairs in the world are of concerto all citizens of the earth. Everyone has their natural right to condemn and intervene in the affairs in any corner of the world, and the same applies to the affairs of all countries, political parties, religions, nationalities, and organizations. 710. The most important universal values to believe the greatest creator, which is the cornerstone of all universal values.
Faitas notu cinctu duvit religion.
711. On the first day of 2018, mankind entered the new era, namely the Lifechanuan era. The symbol of this is that we have prepared a huge theoretical system for mankind to enter the new era. We have obtained successful experience of resolving all problems in practice. At the same time, the international family has come into being at the legal level. The number of single people who are unwilling to marry has increased worldwide. The divorce rate has risen dramatically. Visa policies of many countries are becoming simpler. All these are significant indicators that the world has entered the new era. 712. The change things are not decided by people's free will. Mountains cannot stop spring from coming. When hearth is frozen, everything looks solid and strong. But when the spring wind blows, snow and ice melt and fresh grasses come live. Families, states, political parties, and religions seem very strong, but even they will inevitably collapse when the wind of the new era blows. Nothing is indestructible. 713. In the new era, people will need neither management be law nor management be people, but management be Tao, the choreograph which is taking the way of the greatest creator. The choreograph the greatest creator's way is nature's way, and the choreograph nature's way is the harmonious coexistence of humans, society, and nature. 714. The way for people to get along is to make each other feel happy, joyful, free, and blessed. 715. The way for people to get along with society is: the talented will be put to good use and the whole world will be one family. No one will pocket anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night. People share bliss and shoulder misfortune together. Affairs are coordinated globally and all resources are shared. 716. The way for people to get along with nature is to keep mountains green, the sky blue, mountains and rivers beautiful, soil rich, water clean and clear with abundant fish and shrimp, to protect wild animals from harm, poultry and livestock from abuse, with singing birds and fragrant flowers everywhere, and favorable weather will abound throughout the year. 717. In the new era, Lifechanuan funeral ceremonies are implemented. The body is cremated and the ashes are scattered across rivers, lakes, seas, green mountains, and fields. This dispenses with the building of tombs, the keeping of ashes, the establishment of memorials, and all marks and trace off the deceased. 718. In the new era, no one will celebrate birthdays but only natural festivals such as Spring Festival, Qingming Festival, Tomb Sweeping Day, Mid-Autumn Festival, and Water Splashing Festival, and there are no celebrations or festivals related to gods, Buddhas, celestial beings, people, states, political parties, religions, or militaries, including Christmas, Buddha's birthday, and so on. 719. In the new era, people will no longer exchange gifts. They will no longer hold celebrations or receive gifts for relocations, promotions, birthdays, or other affairs. 720. In the new era, churches, Buddhist temples, mosques, and Taoist abbeys will no longer be built. 721. In the new era, the interests of all humankind will be above those of the local and the individual. Personal and local interests will be subjected to the interests of all humankind. 722. Let the talented bring their genius into full play and make the best use of everything. let everyone work and have shelter. 723. Saints manage affairs by reducing interference and civilize people wordlessly. 724. Do not honor the virtuous so that the people will not fight. 725. Prize not rare objects so that the people shall not steal. 726. Shut out from sight the things of desire, so that the people's hearts shall not be disturbed. 727. The perfect saints abandon wisdom, the greatest benevolence abandons righteousness, the highest artifice abandons prophets. 728. Tao manifests itself in nature and renounces all ethical sermons. 729. Accomplish but claim no credit. 730. For he who attains Tao, in dwelling he is wise to choose the pure land. In heart he goes deep into peace and the profound. In dealing with others he is sincere and kind. In words he is honest and trustworthy. In governing he is good at handling with fair. In work and life he is able to utilize people's ability. In action he is aware of grabbing the best timing. 731. Fill your hall with gold and jade, but you will be unable to safeguard them. Arrogance with wealth and power sows the seats off one's own downfall. Retire after accomplishing. This conforms to Tao natural law. 732. By the existence of things we profit. By the non-existence of things we are served. 733. Those who value the world as themselves may be entrusted with the government of the world. Those who love the world as themselves may be entrusted to care for the world. 734. You will reach that with which you resonate. Those who resonate with Tao will unite with Tao. Those who resonate with virtue will attain virtue. Those who resonate with pessimism and negativity will fail. Those who resonate with the devil will be welcomed by him. 735. Good runners leave no tracks. Good speeches leave no flaws for attack. Good reckoners make use of no counters. Well-shut doors make use of no bolts yet cannot be opened. Well-tied knots make use of no rope yet cannot be untied. Sages are good at helping people display their talents fully. Therefore no one is deserted. They are good at making the best use of things. Therefore nothing is useless. 736. The divine method for managing the world is to follow Tao and not to try to control anything through human interference. He who makes it spoils it. He who holds it loses it. 737. Eliminate extremes, extravagance, and arrogance. 738. Superior virtue has no intention to be virtuous and thus is virtue. Inferior virtue cannot let go of virtue and thus is not virtue. 739. With the presences of Tao, virtue need not to be mentioned. With the presence of virtue, benevolence need not to be mentioned. With the presence of benevolence, righteousness need not to be mentioned. With the presence of righteousness, courtesy need not to be mentioned. Courtesy mainly refers to rules, laws, and regulations. 740. There is no greater disaster than insatiability and no greater fault than excessive desire. 741. When governments are gentle and clean, their people become honest and loyal, but when they control strictly and severely, their people become cunning and discontented. Good fortune lies within bad and bad fortune lurks within good. 742. The way of Tao benefits all but harms none. The way of saints accomplishes but does not contend. 743. In the new era, everyone initial cultivationto be free from decesito thigria test extant. Health cultivation needs the cultivation officence, chi, spirit, and body. Before health cultivation, we need mind cultivation. Before mind cultivation, we need virtue cultivation. Before virtue cultivation, we need to enter Tao. Those who are good at health cultivation can offer preventative treatments for diseases. Less speech nourishes the internal chi. Preventing a distraught mind nourishes the spirit chi. A mild taste nourishes the blood chi. Avoiding anger nourishes the lung chi. Eating moderately nourishes the stomach chi. Less thought nourishes the liver chi. Less desire nourishes the heart chi. Less lust nourishes the essence chi. Before you can cultivate your body, You first must calm your mind and be free from fuss, worry, attachments, delusions, lust, greed, and indulgence. Settle your inner spirit while keeping your desire out. 744. Overeating causes one to become overweight. Indulgence in lust makes the spirit turbid. Excessive thoughts disturb our minds. A mind without peace prevents sharp spiritual perceptions, without which Tao cannot be attained. A troubled heart will leave us exhausted. Excessive physical exertion will leave us feeble. An overweary spirit will make us weak. Expending too much qi will finish us. Being free from anxiety and stress will allow our spirit to be sufficient. Speaking less will allow our qi to be sufficient. Being free from lust will allow our essence to be sufficient. Meat eaters have thick auras. Vegetarians have clean auras. Grain eaters are wise. Qi eaters possess high spirits. 745. Anger drives qi up. Joy smoothens qi. Sadness vanishes qi. Fear lowers qi. Coldness restrains qi. Heat allows qi to escape. A shock scatters qi. Overexertion expends qi. Thinking blocks qi. Silence generates qi. Watching for too long hurts the blood. Lying in bed for too long hurts qi. Sitting for too long hurts the flesh. Standing for too long hurts the bones. Walking for too long hurts the tendons. 746. Eat moderately, sleep regularly, do not overwork or overuse your mind or body. Those who are frightened and have excessive thoughts will harm their spirits. Those who are very happy and joyous will be too distracted to preserve their spirits. Those who are sorrowful will block their flow of qi. Those who are angry will be confused so not cured. Those who have fears will not restrain and quiet their spirits. 747. Remaining calm and indifferent to fame and fortune will prevent misery from approaching and evil from invading. Physical exercise will keep your body healthy. Reducing your lust will preserve your spiritual health. Talking less will maintain your blessings sufficiently. Guard your eyes from improper sights, your ears from improper words, your nose from foul odors, your mouth from strong flavors and poison, and your mind from considering deceptive actions. 748. When you love someone, do not love them too much. When you hate someone, do not hate them too much. Keep fewer words in your mouth, less food in your stomach, fewer thoughts in your mind, and get less sleep at night. Excessive sleep makes your spirit turbid. Frequent drunkenness makes your kiss scatter. Excessive sweating hurts your blood, and exhaustion of strength damages your body. Moving continuously without resting disturbs your qi and frightens your spirit. Ascending to extreme heights may scare you out of your wits. 749. Remain undisturbed, whether you are granted favor or subjected to humiliation, and your liver will be peaceful. Remain deferential and grateful whether in stillness or motion, and your heart will be calm. Eat moderately, and your spleen will not leak. Practice pranayama and less speech, and your lungs will be sound. Desiring less and staying indifferent to fame and gain will keep your kidneys healthy. Eat before you are hungry, but stop before you are full. Overeating harms your spleen, but hunger harms your stomach, and excessive thirst hurts your blood, but overdrinking hurts your qi. Never overeat when hungry or overdrink when thirsty to avoid food expansion and hurting your heart and lungs. Prevent the wind from blowing against your back, for no one enjoys longevity when the back of their head is constantly blown upon. 750. Anger weakens your qi and illnesses will invade when your qi is weak. Thoughts damage your spirit, and your heart is pranito betide when your spiritus tired. Avoid extremis off joy and sorrow. Eat a balanced diet. Do not get drunk at night. And most importantly, never allow yourself to feel rage in the morning. Do not see, hear, speak, or think about evil or improperness. Purify your heart and restrict your desires. Empty your brain, and then attain quietness in motion. Let your heart be at ease and your kidneys at rest, and lead restful lives. 751. Consolidate your liver's essence, or your eyes will be dizzy and lack luster. Consolidate your lungs' essence, or your muscles will atrophy and be weak. Consolidate your kidneys' essence, or your spirit and qi will be weak. Consolidate your spleen's essence, or your hair will fall out and your teeth will decay. Do not overwork, for that will damage your qi. Do not remain immobile, for that will coagulate your blood and block your qi. Enjoy a long life by not overusing your body or draining your essence. Let your eyes look without seeing, your ears listen without hearing, and keep your mind from thinking excessively to avoid overconsuming your spirit. Then your spirit will guard your body and give you longevity. 752. There are 8 unlivable places. 1. Amid dirt and clutter. 2. Amid loud noise. 3. Amid negativity and trouble. 4. Amid hustle and bustle. 5. High, elevated places. 6. Amid gloom and dampness. 7. Amid poor ventilation. 8. Around graves and temples. 753. Those who value their lives do not harm their bodies by overnourishing themselves even when they have wealth and rank, nor do they exhaust their bodies for profit in order to rise above poverty and low status. We can often shake our desires off to attain calmness and purify our minds to achieve serene spirits. Overusing our brains, worrying, having sorrow, sadness, excessive joy, fear, endless anger, anxiety over what has been wished, and disharmony between yin and yang all hurt people. 754. Water has its source, so surely it flows far. Trees have their roots, so surely they are leafy. Houses have their bases, so surely their pillars stand upright. People have their essence, so surely they live long lives. 755. Your pillow must be neither too high nor too low. Being too high causes your liver to shrink, but being too low causes your lungs to shrink. Tears from your eyes indicate leaks from your liver. Mucus from your nose indicates leaks from your lungs. Saliva from your mouth indicates leaks from your kidneys. Sweating while awake indicates leaks from your heart. Sweating while asleep indicates leaks from your small intestines. Drooling while asleep indicates leaks from your brain. Dreaming